If you're just joining us, Representative Jody Hice is on the line, and it sounded a lot like a stunt where they were just looking to kill the filibuster, something they have vociferously lashed out against doing in the past. My guess is the vast majority of people see through this. But do they not know, like, the game has changed a little bit now, and things they said 3 years ago, things they said 5 years ago can resurface? Like, are they playing voters for suckers? Like, what do you attribute this to?
Yeah, it's really quite bizarre. Here you've got a president whose poll numbers are plummeting. In fact, the entire Democratic Party plummeting poll numbers. A ton of them are resigning. They're in a fight of their political life because of their disastrous policies that they've been cramming down the throats of America. Inflation is on the rise. COVID is raging. Our borders are southern borders in absolute chaos. I mean, you go down the whole list of things. The president's primary signature policy is stalled up in the Senate, going nowhere. And what do they do but try to federalize elections and take over elections, which even the Constitution is clear that elections, the time, place, and manner are left up to the states, not the federal government. So this is nothing but an attempt to tip the scales, in my opinion, for in favor of the Democrats' elections going forward and their various candidates. And it's just not going to go anywhere. This will never get past the Senate. The filibuster change is not going to pass in the Senate. This is yet another pathway of failure for this administration.
It's so bizarre to me, and I think that's ultimately why he didn't get the turnout he was hoping for, even from other Georgians like Stacey Abrams or, local voter rights groups, as they don't, how they say success is 1,000 fathers, failure is an orphan. I don't think people wanted to be seen on stage watching another thing tank, is I think the issue. And to be clear for our listeners, Georgia has more early voting than Delaware, correct?
Oh, correct. I mean, Delaware has 0. Georgia has 3 weeks. And, in fact, we just had the election for the mayor of Atlanta just a couple of months ago, 17% increase in voters for that election than in previous elections for the mayor, and that is after the passage of SB 202. No such thing as voter suppression. We have more voters than ever voting in Georgia. It's easier to vote. It's easier to register. We've just made steps to try to make sure that we have voter identification and so forth. We're trying to secure elections in the state of Georgia while at the same time increasing the number of legal people who are voting, and it's working. And of all places, the president comes here to call Georgia voting laws suppression. Listen, the only suppression of votes is when you have illegal voters, fraudulent voters, anything that is improper in the vote. Any and every illegal vote suppresses a legal vote. And that's what SB 202 in Georgia has done, is try to tighten the screws, if you will, on preventing cheating and fraudulent voting from taking place. It is nothing to do with voter suppression, just the opposite. And you look at Delaware, if he wants to have this speech, he needs to go to his own state and have it.
Well, the issue there is he's just spent so much time in Delaware, he's sick of it at this point. He's been there every weekend since he got into office. There's been a lot of Delaware time, and it is crazy because I've never seen a worse rookie year for a president than the one we're witnessing right now. Can you recall anything in your lifetime that was failing on this many fronts?
Nothing. I cannot think of a single positive thing that's happened for our country. Look, we have political prisoners here in Washington who have been there for a year with no due process whatsoever. We have Americans forsaken in Afghanistan by the hundreds. Over 133 days now have passed. No one's been held accountable. Inflation is going through the roof. We've got supply chain problems. We have empty shelves on the grocery store. We have gas prices soaring. We've got the pandemic is soaring. I mean, what good has come from this administration in a year now? And it's horrible. And, yeah, I think you bring up a great point with people like Stacey Abrams and others. Do you ever remember a time when a president visits a state and some of the political leaders of that state of the same party are fleeing from being seen. I mean, it's just pretty unprecedented across the board.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Now, I will give him one thing. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on. At least like 2 or 3 of those people had to have overslept from the victory celebration.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Just 2, but, maybe 2. 2 out of the hundreds that skipped.
They didn't speak till 5 or something in the evening, so I think they were waiting on the president to wake up as well somewhere throughout the day.
Well, you were wide awake as always. Good to get the band back together. Congrats on the big win for the Dogs. Let's do it again soon, okay?
I always love to be with you, Jimmy. Thank you so much.